now.
After 46 seasons and 10 championship rings, I've seen everybody from Wes Baylor and Chamberlain, Magic, Kareem and Worthy, Shaq and Kobe, and now LeBron and Anthony Davis. I've watched this world change as well as the game of basketball. After 93 years, I've just about seen it all. But I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a team endure as much as today's Lakers. And as we continue on this journey, lined with uncertainties, I know one thing to be true. Don't ever count out the Los Angeles Lakers. After 46 seasons and 10 championship rings, I've seen everybody from Wes Baylor and Chamberlain, Magic, Kareem and Worthy, Shaq and Kobe, and now LeBron and Anthony Davis. I've watched this world change as well as the game of basketball. After 93 years, I've just about seen it all. But I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a team endure as much as today's Lakers. And as we continue on this journey, lined with uncertainties, I know one thing to be true. Don't ever count out the Los Angeles Lakers. After 46 seasons and 10 championship rings, I've seen everybody from Wes Baylor and Chamberlain, Magic, Kareem and Worthy, Shaq and Kobe, and now LeBron and Anthony Davis. I've watched this world change as well as the game of basketball. After 93 years, I've just about seen.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy LAJ. I'm joined by the OG LA Rams fan, Mike Pugard. How are you doing today?
What's up, Jay? I'm excited and ready for Laker and Dodger playoffs. It's going to be a hell of a week.
Oh my God, this week is gonna be one of the longest weeks in my life. I mean, I've been stressed up since the morning I woke up. The moment I woke up, I was already sweating and stressed. How did you sleep last night?
Well, I'm anxious. There's a couple things. I'm happy for the city of LA. The Lakers are in the finals. After last year when LeBron James got hurt, everybody was giving doubt. Can he come back? Is he too old? And not really understanding how great LeBron James is. He's probably one of the greatest basketball players to walk on the court. There's a handful of guys just like him over the years. And then, just so excited for the Lakers, for my family, for my kids, for you young guys. I've seen it all. Jay, I've seen every Laker championship in LA.
Jealous. I'm jealous.
62, and it was in 1969 when I went to the Fabulous Forum and saw Will Chamberlain and Jerry West.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm jealous, man.
And Elgin Baylor. I saw Elgin
Oh
Baylor.
my God.
And then when they won it back in the early 70s, like I said, I took my youngest son to see the mural when LeBron James came to LA. And I'm standing there looking. I took a picture with my youngest boy, who's now 20. He was 18 at the time. But I said, I've seen every one of these guys play. Every single one of them. I've seen them play. And this is just another exciting thing. I want to go to a parade
Yeah.
eventually. I don't know how that's going to work out.
We're gonna get one
And
together. I mean, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure a lot of people are not gonna want to attend it because of the whole COVID-19 thing. But this is a rare event. It's not gonna be, it's not that common that you're gonna have both the Lakers and the Dodgers win a World Series and an NBA championship in the same year. It hasn't been done since 1988. So it's a rare thing. I might, push those boundaries, and if someone, starts a parade, I'll probably be there. But let's get on with today's show with the Lakers and our expectations. Let's start off with the Lakers. I mean, obviously, I'm jealous that you've witnessed every single championship for the Lakers. I'm legit jealous. I mean, my thing is just the Shaq and Kobe era. From then on, it's when I could remember. But I was maybe 1 year old in '88 when the Lakers last won their title before Shaq and Kobe. So I don't even have no recognition of what happened then. But this year, would you say this is one of the most difficult titles to win for the Lakers?
absolutely. Being in that bubble
Mm-hmm.
and not being around any fans and not having their family there. I mean, look, we've all been isolated because of COVID. We've all
Yes.
been put in our little bubbles. I know your story. My story is, my wife and my two boys, and my other boy just left. He just got himself a place. But when the pandemic hit, he moved in with us, and I haven't been able to hug my oldest son.
Damn.
He's out in the public, and so we're trying to stay safe. And for the NBA to have what they've done, what they pulled off, is unbelievable.
Yep.
And for the
Absolutely.
Lakers and the Heat to get to this point, it's it's going to go down in history as probably the greatest NBA finals ever because of what they had to sacrifice and the social aspect of it, all the unrest socially
Mm-hmm.
behind the Black Lives Matter movement, and it's just unbelievable what these guys have done. The pressure that's on these players,
Yeah. I
and the
mean,
Lakers, oh my gosh, they have every element to win the championship this year.
absolutely.
They
Yes.
have, really, they have the length, they have the players, they have the 3-point shooters, they have everything,
Yes.
and
So
I'm very excited for them.
so my only concern, and this is something that came to me recently that I started, analyzing and looking at the numbers and the players and all that, see what's gone on since the bubble. And the only thing that I see now is you remember the Lakers beat the Heat in the regular season 2-0. Like they swept the series, right? The only
Right.
difference now is during that regular season series, that Heat team did not have Jay Crowder. They didn't have Andre Iguodala. They have some players that have
Oh
been
yes.
very impactful for the Heat. And let's not forget Jimmy Butler. No one wanted him. He bounced around from Chicago to Minnesota to 76ers, and everybody thought he was a problem. He lands with the Heat, and you see that he's not the problem. He's actually the enforcer and the reason why teams succeed. So Jimmy Butler in this bubble to me is a big problem. That's my issue. And Jay Crowder, and then you have Andre Iguodala. They got rid of Dion Waiters because he was a problem, and we're stuck with him. So I see all these little issues arise, and that's where I'm a little concerned. I can't. No one can predict this NBA Finals. Who would have predicted that it was going to be the Clippers getting eliminated by the Nuggets after being up 3-1? So everything is just out the window here. That's the only concern that I have. But as far as believing in this team, I mean, the video, everybody out there that saw the video itself, every single Laker player has the same mentality, which is the job's not done, which is something that Kobe Bryant enforced in them. Job's not finished. Why should I
Yeah,
smile?
he instilled that into the younger players and the veterans on this team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jay, it the game could turn on a dime. That's in
Absolutely.
any type of any sport,
Yes.
right? It could turn. Momentum is huge, and defense wins games. The Lakers will win this championship with their defense, and Frank Vogel is a defensive specialist. That's his mark. That's what he does, and the guys have bought into it. And
Yeah.
listening to them and watching them pregame and listening to the analysts like James Worthy and Ori and the like, they all know that defense wins games. defense wins championships,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lakers have a shutdown defense. They they they're going to have to run a zone because of those kids who could shoot the lights out. Hero and that other kid, I forget his name, but these guys
Bam
can
Bam.
shoot. No doubt about it, and they have no fear. Young kids who have nothing to lose, just throw the ball up and just play basketball.
Yep.
And in the bubble, that's why they're so successful, because there's no pressure from the outside. There's no crowd involved. And when you having a 7-game series, the Lakers would have had the best record. They would have been playing at Staples. Well, can you imagine these young guys walking in the Staples Center, looking up in the rafters and seeing 16 championship banners and all the retired numbers? Of course, they would have a lot of pressure on them,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not the case. There's no real pressure on the Heat down in Florida, because they're in that bubble. It's like going to the gym. You're just playing basketball. God, there's nobody there. There is. It's just very different on what they're going to have to do down in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm excited. But I think the Lakers will meet the challenge. I think they'll win the series in 6, because I give Miami 2 games. I really think they're a really good team. But
Yeah.
of course, I think the Lakers will win the championship, and I think the MVP will be co-MVPs with Davis and LeBron.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. I would have like assumed it was going to be LeBron James right off the bat, but that is interesting that we could have a co-MVP. Has there ever been a co-MVP finals in the final?
Has there ever been a bubble team?
You're right.
Everything's looked in a different way.
Yeah, yeah.
Looked through a different lens. It's not the same. And I can see them giving a co-MVP. I can see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Without Davis, James would have a tough time. Without James, Davis is going to have a tough time. And I
Yeah.
read something today where Anthony Davis said, take me to 9 championship rounds or 12 championship rounds. He says, LeBron, I'm going to ride with you.
Oh,
And,
okay.
LeBron's up in age, but I still think he has quite a few years left. He could play up until he's 40 years old.
I mean, what he did year 17, what he's done in year 17, he still has bounce in those legs. Let's be honest. He was robbed of the MVP. He was robbed of the MVP.
But he has something to prove this.
Yeah.
He has something to prove in this championship. Look, he would rather give up an MVP
A million
or a
times
ring.
over. Yeah, a million times over.
You want the chip. You want the chip. That's what makes you separates you from all the other players.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so getting his 4th chip with the Lakers, and then after this, who knows where we go from there? Who could we go out and get? I'm not a big Kyle Kuzma fan. I never have. There's something about that kid doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
It's easy to score when you're ahead. He's made a couple plays in crunch time, but those games don't mean a whole lot. The playoff games are a lot more stressful. And that's what I've been seeing, is that he is not the difference maker. I tell you, Rondo, he earned his name, Playoff Rondo. That guy is playing out of his mind. He's playing like he's 25, 26 years old.
Oh,
Makes
man.
great decisions, and and he keeps everybody in line, keeps them in check.
And it's
That's
crazy.
what I like about him.
It's crazy how he's night and day. He went from regular season Rondo, who was just complete garbage, and this playoff Rondo is just there in the lights of Michael Jordan in the playoffs. Like, he finds the right play, he creates the right move, and he has the ability to get in player. That's one thing we didn't see in the Nuggets series. Rondo, he plays the mental game. He's about that trash talking. He'll get into players' head. He plays with the psyche, but we didn't see that with the Nuggets. He played a better game without having to use that. So that's something that we have as an advantage. Jimmy Butler is the only one, from what I saw, that the Heat have that can, deal with the mentality aspect of the NBA, that can deal with what Dwight Howard did with Jokic. Game 1 and game 2, he was just on him and harassing him. Like, if it was like on the street, he would have gone to jail for some harassment. But
Well, you
we,
know what? Dwight Howard too is
yes. Oh my God.
he bought into this. He bought
Yeah.
into the whole concept of defense. You know, he was a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the greatest players in the NBA at one time, and not just for 1 year. It was like a 5, 6 year stretch
Yeah.
where this guy was just dominant. And when he came to play with Kobe, his head wasn't right. Saw him in an interview with on TV the other day, and he had said, you know, I had to really think what I want to do with my life and how my kids look at me. Of course, when you're a young man and you have all that talent, you don't realize how hard it is to get to any type of championship, and he does.
Yeah.
And he had said, you know, I didn't realize. I thought, oh, I made it to the NBA championship. I'm going to be here again next year. Well, you know, the only person that can do that is either Michael Jordan, Kobe for a while, LeBron James, 10 out of the last 11 years. How do you do that?
Yeah.
It tells you how great the guy is, and he makes the people around him so great. Back in the day, Magic Johnson and these guys were in the 80s. They had the mentality, team team mentality, and that's what makes the Lakers so good this year,
Yeah.
and that's what's going to get them a championship. Is that they don't panic when things go bad,
That's
because
true.
during the course of a game there are plays, calls, and there are baskets that go in and out, and you know they'll have it's a game of runs. Who's going to have the best runs or how many points? But it always think about this here. It always comes down to defense. If you're able to get a couple stops, even when you're down 12, 14 points, that turns the tide. You your good defense gives you easy offense
Yeah,
always.
absolutely. The fast break points come in handy. The turnover rate, it gets into the opponent's head because now you're realizing, hey, we got to perform better, and every little slip up just becomes a bigger impact. It could be the defining moment to a win or a loss. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Defense wins championships, and this Lakers team has been the best defensive team in the bubble. And man, this is something that's, and it's crazy. We're doing it without Avery Bradley, and
Well,
look,
I was bummed out when he
yeah,
didn't join.
huge. I'm gonna give a huge admiration. They need to build a statue for, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. Who is the president of the Lakers? Rob Pelinka. They
Oh, Rob Palenka.
they need to build a statue for him right outside of Staples Center as soon as they get this title, because this man, think about this. Last year, Kawhi Leonard was a free agent. All the free agents out there were gone by the time Kawhi decided who he was gonna go with. So rather than panicking, Rob Pelinka just looked around, surveyed the scene, and gathered the best players that were still available, and he made some moves to acquire Anthony Davis. And honestly, I would have preferred. We keep Brandon Ingram. I would have preferred Ingram over Kuzma. It is what it is.
Oh
Things
yeah.
happen, but the way that he built this team, he built it not only on talent, but he focused more on chemistry. JaVale McGee, Jared Dudley, he doesn't play. He's there as a locker room presence. He's what they call the goon.
Right. Veteran.
Rondo for his mentality, his leadership, his veterancy, and then they built some other players. They brought in Avery Bradley. They kept KCP, and they built chemistry. They focused more on building a relationship with the team rather than, hey, we got to get the best players out there and make sure that we have a more talented play. You look at the Clippers, Lou Williams, Trez, Marcus. They had all that supposedly best team ever, and what happened? No chemistry. Everybody was mad.
I really feel bad for Doc Rivers because I have friends. I have the one really good friend. I've known this guy
Okay.
for well over 45 years, and he's a Clipper fan. He lives and dies with the Clippers, and really nice guy. He was a Laker fan, but he worked for a company that sponsored the Clippers, and he got himself loaded up, and so he stood loyal to the Clippers. And we would go back and forth, and when when the news came out about Doc, I told him, they took them from being, the laughing stock of the NBA. He took them to a contender, and his winning mentality. I'm not a, he was a Celtic. He beat us, but I respect Doc Rivers for what he done with the organization.
Okay.
I'm not a Clipper fan. I live and die with my Lakers.
Oh yeah,
But this
absolutely.
guy, he did something, and I don't think he should be the fall guy for this, for them to not winning. Look, the Clippers are just cursed. That's just part of
Yes,
life.
yes. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
They haven't won. When they were in Buffalo, they didn't win. They moved to San Diego. They didn't win. They came up to LA. They had Danny Manning in the day. They had all these players that they were supposed to have high expectations, but they just couldn't finish the deal. And to lose 3-1, they're up 3-1, and had supposedly had the best talent in the NBA, which is Paul George. He disappears in the playoffs.
Pandemic.
I'm not really, when thinking about him playing for the Clippers, and early on everyone was really going the Battle of LA. There's no battle. 16 championships.
Yeah, yeah,
What are you talking about battle? You try to get into the finals.
yeah,
One time.
yeah.
I mean, try to do something other than try to ride on our coattails, and
Give us
the
a hard
Lakers
time.
oh yeah, the Lakers are the
Superior team.
premier in the world.
Yeah.
The Celtics were there at one time, but during the '60s there was only like 8 or 9 teams.
Exactly. Burn them. Tell them, Mike. Tell these Celtic fans out
There
there.
was
Tell them.
only 8 or 9 teams in the league.
Tell them.
And we could never get a break.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like the West Coast teams. East Coast teams always had the breaks. And so, to come this far, to be at a time and place where we could get 17 as much as the Celtics, it's a very special time. And I'm glad I'm still around to see it.
That's great. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's taking. I remember when we won in 2010. I was down in San Diego at Harrah's Casino.
Oh, nice.
And I'm wearing my Laker gear.
Yeah.
Right? And some guy was Celtics, man. I go, we're gonna beat you. We're gonna beat you, and we're not only gonna beat you, we're gonna surpass your championships. You're not gonna win another one. I told him, you know what? Those championships in the '60s, those don't count. You guys didn't have anybody to play. Now the talent is spread across the board. There's
Evenly.
some great athletes, and we're still winning. We're still winning. The Lakers are the premier team in the NBA. And after this year, Dave, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have a parade. We're gonna celebrate. I'm gonna have my tequila and forget about everybody else.
Man, I'm with you on that. I think I'll be celebrating as well, but I don't know how. I am hoping we do have like a parade, because I would like to definitely be out there celebrating, because again, I wasn't around when the Dodgers and the Lakers won a championship together in the same year, so I would definitely love to celebrate with both of them. And there's a video out there the Dodgers put out encouraging the Lakers. It came out recently. I don't have it with me yet. I'll probably share it later. But they were telling them, hey, we're right behind you. Take care of business, and we'll be right behind you. So that hyped me up. I was like, I'm ready to run through a brick wall for these guys. So yeah, I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm stressed. I'm frustrated. We got like 15 more minutes before the game. Well, actually, it's gonna be like 10, 15 more minutes before the actual game starts. They usually start later, but like my system is wild right now. I don't even know how to control myself. So I'm like stressing out, like for real. But yeah, it's exciting times, exciting and sad times.
I have 3 sons, Jay. I have 3 sons.
Damn.
Each son was born the year the Lakers won a championship.
Oh my God, nice.
My oldest boy, Michael Jr., born in 1987. Lakers won the championship.
Oh, same.
Next year, my son Albert's born.
Oh wow.
In '88, and the Dodgers won the World Series, and the Lakers won the championship.
So he's the lucky one.
And no, check this out. In 2000, my son Paul's born. The Lakers win the championship, and the Rams win the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So
Wow. Okay.
Those 3 boys are my lucky charms, been to every parade. When they were little, I would take them. They would sit on my shoulders, and we celebrated with Shaq. We celebrated with Magic. It was all a great time. My brother-in-law and I. My brother-in-law, who is my oldest friend, him and I watched their first NBA championship with my dad at Pico Rivera when we sat there in the dining room watching the Laker games when we won the championship. And we always thought he can't even watch the game. He gets so excited. I can't watch. I have a heart attack. I can't watch the game. He says, just text me the scores, tell me the highlights. I can't watch it. I lose my mind. I said, dude, you're not playing.
It's like that.
I wanted to win so bad.
Yeah.
Said, well, just tell me. So, as I'm watching the game, I text him. And my father-in-law, God pray he rest in peace, was similar in nature. He could not watch during those runs in 2000, the three championships. He'd say, I want him to win by 25-30 every game. I don't want to see anything close.
Same, yo, same. Same. And I've joked about it before. Like during this time is when I'm most stressful. Like the leaves are falling, beautiful weather, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, beautiful time of the year, fall. But you got the Rams, you got the Lakers, you got the Dodgers, you got everything going on. All the sports are on, and I'm too invested in these teams that I'm gonna die from stress.
That's the word fanatic. There's where the word fan comes from. Because you're a fan.
Yeah.
You're a fanatic. You live and die with your teams. When I was younger, don't ever get in my face and talk about my team.
Say.
I was pretty feisty when I was younger. But as I got older, I mellowed out.
Yeah.
But I loved my teams, and the people I worked with, I worked in the probation department for 33 years. I'm retired. Those guys know me, and they know when the Rams won the Super Bowl. I had a friend of mine give me a bottle of champagne.
Oh, nice. Wow.
I still have that bottle of
nice.
champagne.
Damn.
The NFC Championship game. His sister-in-law was program director for halftime.
Oh wow.
Louis.
Wow. Oh wow, that's nice.
He brought it to work, and he goes, look what I have for you, Grad, my last name. He goes, look what I have for you. I said, what's that? He goes, it's a bottle from the locker room. I said, oh, dude, how much do you want? He goes, no, I got it for you.
Wow.
I've been a Ram fan ever since I've known you, since 1986.
Wow.
And I said, hey, man, Go-Go, his name is Gonzalez. I said, hey, thank you, Go-Go, man. I appreciate this.
All you need now is just to get it signed.
I still have it, put it away. I've never opened up a bottle. I said, I'm going to open it when the Rams win a Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. St. Louis, I mean, damn, that sucks. St. Louis took them for a minute, and look at what they did to our boys. They just ruined that organization from what after the Super Bowl, they just went downhill. But we got Todd Gurley. We bounced back. Unfortunately, we ran into those cheating bastards, Boston, and it is what it is. But this season looks good. We'll definitely talk about the Rams next week. For right now, we'll keep it focused on the Lakers. But Lakers, you say 6. I feel more safe. You stick with 6. I feel safe saying 7. Lakers in 7, and that's like everything going right for the Lakers. And I'm just too nervous about the new guys that the Heat got. Jay Crowder, Iguodala, and how that team is just meshing. Yep. He's a dog. He's a dog, man.
He always has his hands in the passing lanes.
He's long. Oh man, he's long.
Very long. But I just think we have too much firepower. Our bench with the bald eagle Caruso.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, so yeah, I go 7, you go 6. Worst case scenario, we're bummed out. But no, let's not even think about that. Let's just focus.
I think we're gonna win it in 6.
6,
And
okay.
maybe 5 if we jump off to a good start tonight. Like the first game of any series, just like the Dodgers. I don't like these 3-game format.
Same, yeah.
Wild card. They had the best record. They should have a bye. They should not be playing. in a 3-game format. Look what the Astros won today, and they moved on. And they won. They took 2 games, and they weren't supposed to. They were under 500.
They weren't even supposed to be there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so see, anything can happen in a shortened series. The Dodgers, I hope to God that they come out and play really good baseball. I know you like Corey Seager a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm a huge Corey Seager fanatic. I didn't expect him. I thought he was going to have a bounce back year. I didn't expect him to be in the MVP category. But let's talk about the Dodgers real quick. So no, I used to trash AJ Pollock so much. I hated him. I was so disgusted when the Dodgers picked him up, and his performance in the NLDS last year, 11 strikeouts. 11 strikeouts. I was so pissed when I saw him in the team this year. And then I thought, okay, well, I guess I gotta just hold on and wait for his arrival. And sure enough, he shuts me up. He overperformed. He does his thing, and man, he carried the Dodgers a lot.
Did he overperform? I tell you what, Jay, I didn't like Pollock either. I was all over. I was cussing his ass out every time I saw him come up to the plate last year. And my son, the one born in '88, Albert, he tells me, Dad, this guy was MVP.
Yeah.
This guy could be a great player for the Dodgers.
I heard
Why
that
are you
too.
so down on him?
I heard that too. I'm gonna get a charger real quick. You keep talking, but I'm gonna get a charger real quick for my laptop.
Okay, so he was telling me, Dad, this guy is more than what you think. And we would go back and forth. How good can Pollock be?
That's a smart boy. You got a smart kid, man.
Well, he's a baseball player. He was a great baseball player in high school, college. He got drafted by a couple coaches. Got hurt. He was a pitcher. His pitching coach was Todd Blyleven. Bert Blyleven, former Angel and Minnesota Twin and Pirate World Series champion.
Oh, nice.
His son Todd Blyleven had a training facility in Huntington Beach, and Albert worked with him for a long time. Albert had a great arm, but he was just not physically big enough. He threw 92 miles an hour.
Wow.
A lot of movement.
Damn.
And, he grew his arm out in college, which was devastating to him because he was such a great player.
Tommy John, it wasn't Tommy John surgery he needed or something like that?
No, it was a labrum, and then his body just couldn't hold up the straight. Try throwing that. I mean, think about
90 miles per hour is,
yeah.
that's a lot of force. Oh, man.
You have to be a big man to be consistent or be gifted, and like Pedro Martinez, he was gifted.
Yeah, he was.
What Albert was telling me, Pollock is the real deal, Dad. And I said, oh, come on. We go back and forth. He goes, no, you got to give him a chance. Well, this year, while watching all season, he's saying, I told you. Every time Pollock would hit a home run or a double, I told you.
Nice.
Wow, look at this. I guess you were right.
Yeah.
He calls me coach because I was his coach. He goes, I told you, coach. Yeah, I told you, coach. And, you were right, son.
Yeah, that was.
Is gonna be the difference.
Yeah, he was random. That was a random, just player to just show up and actually perform. The biggest surprise, I know Cody Bellinger had an off year. I heard rumors that he had a girlfriend that was distracting him. I heard rumors that he was distracted from video games. I heard all that. But majority of people that were analyzing who he was as a player were saying the same thing, his batting stance.
Oh, yeah. He changed. How do you go from MVP, raking the ball, and then try to change up, do something different?
Exactly. Exactly. That's the biggest. I mean, from here on out, moving forward in history, whenever anybody says anything like that, it should always reflect back to look at Cody Bellinger in 2019. He won the MVP. 2020, he goes and does the dumbest thing in history, and he changes his swing and goes in reverse. Damn.
Well, I didn't understand it during spring training. Jay, I'm a huge Dodger fan. I watch as much baseball as I possibly can. Spring training is huge for me, where I can evaluate these guys. A couple of years ago, I saw Dustin May, and I said, "Man, this guy is legit."
Yes.
Dustin May made a big and huge impression. But like you said, Cody, Cody just changed everything in his stance. He was
Choking
just,
up on the bat, choking
yeah,
down on the bat. It was just a diff.
and he
Oh,
was so far up on the plate. He took, I think, about a foot back off the plate, and now he starts raking the ball. And just a little adjustments. But see, sometimes when you're an MVP and you try to tell somebody, yeah, you're not doing it right, he's not going to listen. He's going to say, well,
exactly.
listen, I want to do try. But now he understands, and hopefully he'll get on the road to a great streak
Postseason.
in the playoffs,
Yeah.
postseason. Max Muncy too.
Max
Was
Muncy was the biggest
struggling.
disappointment. Oh my god. And I. Oh my god. He just got
That's
paid
it.
too.
Yeah, well, you don't know. I tell you what, Jay, you don't know what these guys are going through with
Hmm.
this COVID. I mean, they have probably maybe they have family members who passed away or got real sick or concerned about their friends who got real ill. So you don't know really. We don't know what's going on with some of these guys who are struggling in like Max Muncy, but I think the greatest move the Dodgers, Mookie Betts, is just. I mean, that's a slam dunk. This guy, I tell you, Jay, I've seen a lot of great baseball players over the years, and he is the closest to perfection that I've seen. And he's only like 5'8", and he weighs what 165 pounds wet. This guy, where does he generate his power? It, he has great eye-hand coordination. He's able to hit the ball opposite field, goes all fields.
Yeah.
He's fast. He has a great arm. He's legitimately the 5 tool player that
Yep.
you want on your baseball
Yep.
team.
Yep.
So as Mookie goes, the Dodgers will go. And
Yeah.
I saw him get hit with the on the hip.
Yeah. It was on the hip. Originally, I thought it was the rib, and I thought, oh no, Hanley Ramirez again.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, please don't be injured because we need you.
Hmm.
And he's going to be okay starting tonight. I like also the kid Smith at the catcher.
Absolutely, man. That.
Barnes is doing pretty good. That's a good 1-2 punch. But I would start Smith more times than not. He has a great eye at the plate. He has good mechanics behind the plate, and he has really good arm.
So what I think what's gonna happen because they have I sent you the roster that they're gonna run with because the first round is wild card BS that they're having. It's 28 players as opposed to the 25 original. So they added 3 catchers. Keibert Ruiz made the lineup or made the
Yeah, I
roster.
saw that.
So
He's
that
22 years old.
interesting. So damn, they
Yeah,
got depth. So they don't have
and
to worry about.
they got Gore too in
And
the outfield.
see,
He's
that's the thing too. So
29 years old.
how crazy is it? And this is where I'm now gonna start. I'm changing my focus from AJ Pollock to Gavin Lux now. And I understand. I've heard it so much. He's young. He's a kid. He had coronavirus himself, and whatever happened with him happened with him. But the way that I see it is, you took Alex Verdugo, who was already an established stud, can perform, was almost a five tool player,
Right.
and you ship him out to Boston, and he goes
Yeah.
off over there. He goes off.
Verdugo was a legitimate star.
Yeah, he was a star in the
I
making.
know
And he,
I know his cousin. His cousin's named Joe. Lives up in Bakersfield, Fresno area.
oh,
And
nice.
he was pissed.
Oh man.
Yes. How did they get rid of Verdugo? I said, they had to get Mookie Betts. So
Yeah,
that was
it makes sense. You just don't. You just don't. You just say no. We want Verdugo. We'll give you bets. You just don't say no.
You don't say no. But they also wanted Lux. So it was either Lux or Verdugo, and the Dodgers needed a solid middle infielder. Gavin Lux looks very lost.
Yep.
And
Yep.
defensively, offensively, he just does not look like he's in tune. The Dodgers win a championship this year. They're carrying him. He's not. I don't see him being too much of a factor.
Yeah, I don't even think he makes any of the rosters moving forward because like I'm fine with the actual postseason roster. Like I'm cool with it except for one thing, Blake Trainen. I'm not liking.
You like him?
Yeah, I don't like him. I seen his numbers in the postseason. I seen his performance in the
Yeah,
postseason. I seen his numbers down the stretch these last 10 games, and it was just a completely.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense why Dylan Floro didn't make the roster. That was the
Well,
only hiccup.
yeah, but I think it's more or less his experience in
Yeah,
postseason
that's what
games.
I'm
That's
assuming.
what it is.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
assuming. But I would have,
it's the numbers, it's analytics,
yeah,
and you got to go
matchups.
with some matchups. Who are you going to see down the line? The possibilities, but I'm more of a field type of coach. I have a feel what's going on. I'm not the guy who goes by the numbers all that much, and like Dusty Baker did today uh, with the ass stroke. Uh, uh, Baker was asked, well, why did you leave his starting pitcher in? And he looked a little shaky. He says, well, I like the matchup, and it's not the numbers as much as what I see
Yeah, yeah.
and the eye test.
You
So
need that
look,
sometimes.
I'm giving Dave Roberts a pass
Oh,
on the 2 championships we lost because they cheated us
yeah,
both times.
yeah.
The Red Sox and the Astros. Uh, but I'm going to give them a pass, especially if we win the World Series this year.
Well, this has got to be his year. This has got to be the final straw. If he bunks it again, it's got to be over for him. There's no reason for him.
Look, nothing in life is certain. Death and taxes.
Yeah.
Those are certain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially in professional sports. And look what happened to Doc Rivers. So you made a valid point saying that if Roberts doesn't win the championship this year, and especially if he goes out in the early rounds,
Yes. Oh my God. Oh.
then that's a legitimate. That's something legitimately to look at to cut him loose. But let's not look at it that way. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't like the 3-game series
No one does.
because you lose that first game, you're behind the 8 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we have Walker Buehler on the mound, who has had issues with his blisters on his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So, the interview with Alana Rizzo the other night was, "How's your fingers?" He says, "Oh, I have no problem. I feel good." So he reached out to Rich Hill because Rich Hill had issues
Yeah.
with his blisters on his fingers.
Yeah.
So he reached out to Rich Hill as his mentor and asked him, "What can I do to heal my fingers, the blisters? What kind of treatment I can have?" And Hill gave him some advice. I'm excited for the Dodgers. They have a chance to do something that you have never seen. My boys have never seen is a championship. And there's a lot of Dodger faithful. I mean, you've seen the Lakers win with Kobe, and but to win a baseball championship with Los Angeles, there's nothing like it. In '81, when Fernando Mania was going off, I mean, it was a party. In '88, it was crazy. '65, I don't remember too much because I was only 7 years old.
Oh.
But I do remember the '70s teams, and
Who were also cheated by the Yankees. Let's not forget about that Bud.
Reggie Jackson
Yeah.
threw out his hip on that double play.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how life goes in a circle. Big Dodger fan. I grew up in East Los Angeles and Hazard, not more than 2 miles away from 3 miles from Dodger Stadium. And years later, I'm a grown man, grandpa, and I'm at Rams training camp, and I get to meet Tommy Lasorda, who I've never talked to. I've always wanted to, and I got to sit down and talk to him.
Nice.
And I told him, Tommy, we're going to win the World Series for you this year. He goes, no, young man. He points at me like this. We're going to win it for you, the fans.
That's
so
Tommy.
I ended up moving out to Fullerton, Jay, and I'm not more than 2 miles from his house now.
Oh.
He lives in Fullerton, and it's crazy. I meet some guy who is his driver. And, it's just, life is so funny. So let's make this a complete circle, and let's win the World Series for Vinny and Tommy Lasorda before they leave this earth.
We need those statues to go up ASAP. We need those Tommy. We need that Tommy. We need that Vince Scully statue up at Dodger Stadium. I'm talking about yesterday. Like, they need to see this, and the Dodgers need to finish and do what they need to do on the field to let them see a title. Because these guys are getting older, and who knows how much time they have.
93 years old,
Yeah.
bro. He
Yeah, he had a birthday a couple of days ago, and they're not, they're not how they were before, where they could stay at the game and celebrate and be up and cheering. They're not like that anymore. Vince Scully got a Twitter account, and he's still telling us stories, which is amazing. But Tommy Lasorda is not out there every day, and he can't be out there every day, and especially with this whole coronavirus thing, you don't want him to get that. So time is running out. These Dodgers got to do what they got to do, and we got to all see it, because 2017, those bastards robbed us. They straight up robbed us. Not just Dodger fans, not just the Dodger players, but MLB in general. You trickle it down, it affected everybody. But it is what it is. I'm not too happy with this best of 3 series. There's wild card bull, but it is what it is. As long as the Dodgers do what they need to do and continue what they did in the regular season.
They gotta win tonight.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta go out and you gotta beat these guys tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to do a show on Friday and we're talking about, oh, well, Cody Bellinger struck out with bases loaded, being down 1 run. We don't want to. We want to talk about Cody Bellinger hit a grand slam and they put him up 10 runs to 2. Somebody gave up 2 runs, and I'm calling it on Blake Train, and he's the one that's gonna give up 2 runs. But as for winning it, I want to come in Friday when we do our next show and say the Dodgers dominated. The Lakers, they dominated. Like, the Dodgers and the Lakers are on the path to succeed, and we're talking about a championship parade. That's what I want to come into on Friday. So, Laker game is about to start right now. My nerves are just out of whack. Like, I can't sit still. I can't concentrate. I can't focus. Like, I'm just a nervous wreck. The way I see you right now, Mike, you're like so calm and cool and collective, but you've gone through everything. You've seen every single championship and every single stress. That little baby hook by Magic Johnson was probably one of the most stressful things ever. The Pistons in the late 80s, we should have three-peated if not for James Worthy getting injured, Byron Scott getting injured, and Magic Johnson getting injured. So yes, we should have three-peated. I'm gonna live and die on that hill, but it is what it is, and it's game time. We're stressed out. I'm stressed out. Man.
It's time to show the world what Los Angeles is all about.
We're a championship city.
Champions.
Yeah.
That's right. We are the city of champions.
That's right.
And let the world bow down to us and stay where you're at. Don't come to LA. We don't want you.
Appreciate it, Mike. So Friday, let's have a great show on Friday. Hopefully, we're talking Dodgers sweep the Brewers onto the division series. Lakers, they beat the Heat, and we're excited. We're happy, and we're partying it up. Sounds good?
I'm ready, brother. Let's do this.
All right. Appreciate you, Mike, being on. Oh, let everybody know where they can catch you and let them know what you're about.
Well, OGLA Rams fan on Twitter, OGLA Rams fan on Instagram, and you can catch me, Mike Pugrat, on Facebook. And let's do this, man. Let's come together. Let's win one. We need something positive in LA. You know, there's too much badness in the world with COVID and all the injustices. Let's do something. Let's get something go positive in our city, so we're already proud of it, but let's just put our chest a little bit higher, right? Let's
Yes.
go a little bit higher.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, sounds great. So let's get on with today's show. Appreciate you, Mike, for being on. Appreciate everybody out there that was watching and joined us. And I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great night, Mike. Great day. Have a great day.